conducted by the Vedic directions, as a bull is directed by the rope attached to its nose. No one can violate the rules laid down in the Vedic literature. To the chief person who has contributed the Vedas, we offer our respect.
I think yesterday we discussed this example, right? That bull is attached to the rope by its nose. Vedic direction means Varnashrama duty. That's what it is. Okay.
The demigods prayed to Brahma, "Please look upon us mercifully, for we have fallen into a miserable condition. Because of the darkness, all our work has been suspended."
As we overload a fire, so the embryo created by the semen of Kashyap in the womb of Diti has caused complete darkness throughout the universe.
Srimatra has said, thus Lord Brahma, who is understood by transcendental vibration, tried to satisfy the demigods, being pleased with their words of prayer.
The Lord said, "My four sons, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanananda, and Sanat Kumar, who were born from my mind, are your predecessors."
Predecessors.
Huh?
Predecessors.
Predecessors.
Means that they came before you.
Sometimes they travel throughout the material and spiritual skies without any definite desire.
After thus traveling all over the universes, they also entered into the spiritual sky, for they were freed from all material contamination. In the spiritual sky, there are spiritual planets known as Vaikunthas, which are the residents of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His pure devotees, and are worshipped by the residents of all the material planets.
In the Vaikuntha planets, all the residents are similar in form to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are engaged in devotional service to the Lord without desires or sensuality.
Oh, this goes to the next section. So let's go back to the purports and try to read some purports, because this from this the description of Vaikuntha starts. Okay, please read.
It appears from this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam that the sun is the source of life for all planets in the universe. The modern scientific theory, which states that there are many suns in each universe, is not supported by this verse. It is understood that in each universe there is only one sun which supplies light to all the planets.
Which verse was that?
Second.
Two. Second.
When I was looking at the calculation of the length or breadth of the universe, that was 4 billion.
Something like that, yes, yeah.
But when you look at scientifics, they count the distances between planets in light year.
Yeah.
And light year is like 2 trillion years. So they visualize planets which are far beyond 4 billion miles. So I don't know how to reconcile this, it's impossible.
Better to ask such questions to next year to someone who is very expert in Vedic geography. In the fifth canto, there is Vedic astronomy is there. Better to ask such questions to someone. That's not my subject at all. I don't get into Vedic astronomy. I am very happy chanting Hare Krishna. So that's why even that section when it came, I didn't explain so much, because I have not put my mind into understanding that whole process. There are people who have studied nicely, they're devotees who understand the whole thing. So better to ask such questions to such devotees. It's not my area of expertise.
Okay, just want to know.
They may have some proper understanding of it and they may be able to explain. I never got into it. I never tried to understand it or try to, and somehow or other nobody asked me to teach that section also. So
Fortunate.
that's a very specialized section. To understand that means that we have to read so many commentaries and try to reconcile so many things. And some devotees have done that very, very well. Some of them have done it really well. So they actually understand very well how to reconcile the modern astronomy and Srimad Bhagavatam. I think Dhanurdhar Swami also wrote one book. It's like, so better to go through this in detail. So I never had time to get into all that, and there's also a compilation of all the commentaries of Acharyas on 5th canto. There's also another book which is compilation of all the commentary of all the Acharyas in 5th canto. So if you are interested, then you should go through this kind of material. Then you will be able to get into the details of it and then try to understand how it works. It takes time and energy to get into the details of it. It's not a simple thing. So
Bhagavad Cosmology, thick book they published.
yeah, they published. And also there is I think from Chaupati, one devotee is also doing course on,
Pavaneshwar.
I think so, yes. He is doing one course on Vedic cosmology.
Here in Mayapur, the next year they will start to explain that or not? In the
I don't think they are going to be ready for it next year. Next year only they are going to move the deities. So that will take more time. That will take more time.
They are going to explain the Vedic cosmology here.
That is what this Temple of Vedic Planetarium. The Temple of Vedic Planetarium. The whole purpose of the temple is that only. You're asking as if it is something new. It's called Temple of Vedic Planetarium.
Because after studying everything we know we cannot understand that, and then you are attempting to explain.
No, I said we cannot understand creative process. There is the difference between the astronomical arrangement of planets and the creative process. Okay, these are two different things. Vedic geography is just an arrangement of planetary system. That's very different from creative process. I said you cannot understand creative process.
The Vedic cosmology can be understood.
It depends that one should study it properly, and also one should try to understand certain things which are actually from angle of vision. Like my understanding is some of them are actually explained. Like I attended one small seminar from Bhanuswami Maharaj, where he was actually explaining that how it also matters from where you are seeing everything. Like if you are seeing everything from a higher planetary system, then you see a different arrangement of all those things. If you are seeing everything from Earth, then you are seeing it in a different way. So that also matters, that from where you see also matters. It's very clear, no? Like if you see from aeroplane, if you are seeing down, you see so many things. But if you are sitting here and if you are seeing, your vision is very limited. You just see around this world, some little bit, trees from the window. That's what you see. But Mayapur is not just 4 walls and some little bit tree from the window. Mayapur is so many things. When you go up and see, then you see everything, right? So I think some of this is also like that Bhanuswami Maharaj was explaining. Many of these things are like that the sages explain something from a vision of higher planetary systems, they explain everything. So then they have a different view of the whole subject matter. So all these things also need to be reconciled. Scientists are just seeing from here, so they are not seeing from. So that's why I said it's a specialized subject and it needs to put some time and energy into it to understand. It's not like this is just geography, no? So it's just the structure. It's already there. It's just a question of understanding it and explaining it. It's not like philosophy. It's not like something which is esoteric. It's just material arrangement of planets, and then some measurements and some this thing like for example, it says the moon is farther than the sun. So then modern science says no, moon is nearer to the sun. So that means this is all about certain way of looking and way of measurement and all those things. It's all so the exact angle of vision and exact way to take measurements, all these things should be understood. So this is more like a observational science.
How does that help in spirituality?
In one sense, it helps because it calls out the bogus explanation of the scientists.
That's the point.
Like what Prabhupada wanted. Prabhupada wanted this temple to be the boot which kick on the face of the scientists. Because see, we have to establish intelligent creation. The moment you establish intelligent creation in a way that mainstream people can understand, and then establish that God is there behind that intelligence, then the whole outlook of the society will change. See, today people are carried away by godless atheism. So then popular opinion becomes the rule. Okay, like when we say this is sin, this is piety, people don't accept it because it's not according to popular opinion. So popular opinion becomes the rule. Why? Because there is no acceptance of one authority who is God. The moment you try to explain the entire creative process properly as an intelligent process which has a particular purpose, then everybody has to fall in line with that purpose. It becomes so obvious, no? So it's a very important work. That's why Prabhupada gives so much importance to it. Okay. Okay, please read.
The Vedas are the original scientific knowledge for all departments of understanding, and this knowledge of the Vedas was first impregnated into the heart of Brahma by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, Brahma is the original source of all scientific knowledge. He is born directly from the transcendental body of Garbhodakasha Vishnu, who is never seen by any creature of this material universe, and therefore always remains unmanifested. Brahma is stated here to be born of the unmanifested. He is the incarnation of the mode of passion in material nature, which is the separated external energy of the Supreme Lord.
That doesn't mean that he is in passion. He is in charge of mode of passion. Okay, please read.
Therefore, controlling the breathing process is not the ultimate aim of yoga. The real purpose of yogic performance is to control the mind and the senses. Anyone who has such control is to be understood to be an experienced, mature, mystic yogi. It is indicated herein that a yogi who has control over the mind and senses has the actual benediction of God, and he has no fear. The devotees of the Lord are not defeated anywhere in the universe. It is stated, Narayana Para Sarve. One who is Narayana Para or a devotee of the Supreme Personality Godhead is not afraid anywhere whether he is sent to hell or promoted to heaven.
Yeah, so therefore they are glorifying Lord Brahma as one who is not afraid of anything. Okay, please read.
Sense gratification is just like salt. One cannot take too much or too little, but one must take some salt in order to make one's foodstuff palatable. Those conditioned souls who have come to this material world should utilize their senses according to the direction of the Vedic literature. Otherwise, they will be put into a more miserable condition of life.
Yeah, so that's what Varnashrama does. Varnashrama defines how much salt for which dish, like how much sense gratification for which person. Like if you are brahmachari, then you have a certain sense gratification. What is the sense gratification of brahmachari? Austerity is the sense gratification of brahmachari. Brahmacharis are very happy when you give them austerity, and they are very fired up. They want to do this austerity, that austerity. So, like when a grahastha, then you have a different sense gratification. When a vanaprastha, you have different sense gratification. When a sannyasi, you have different sense gratification. So everybody has their sense gratification, and that is defined by varnashram. Like Brahmana, what is his sense gratification? Brahmana's sense gratification is simplicity. When Brahmana is very simple, then he becomes very happy. Like it is said that Sudama Vipra, what was his contamination? Sudama Vipra's contamination was that he was very happy that he is the most austere Brahmana. That he doesn't care for material wealth and he always lives in poverty. That was his sense gratification. That was his contamination. In 10th canto it is explained. And how did he give up that contamination? He gave that contamination by seeing how the Lord is so subservient to his devotees. How the Lord extends himself to his devotees. The mercy of the Lord, how it is available to his devotees. He thought of that and then he actually accepted his wealth and he became completely detached from that wealth. So, like that, everybody has their sense gratification. Varnashrama, it defines what is the allowable sense gratification for each person. Then that person legitimately he utilizes that sense gratification. Then he progresses in his ashram. It is progressive then. But if a brahmachari tries to experience the sense gratification of grahastha, then it's not very good. Then it becomes regressive. Then he is put into more miserable condition of life.
How's austerity sense gratification? Looks very opposite. Here from brahmacharya, austerity sense gratification.
Yeah, you ask brahmacharis to do some austerity, they all become very fired up.
So what should
Is it not? No.
some of them that do then lead to health problem.
But they are very fired up, no? And generally brahmachari life is like when my son was in Gurukula, when these guys are doing some austerity, you see that, they are so happy that, we are doing this vrata, we are doing that vrata, they become very happy.
But then
Because they are all together, they have the same mood and they want to push it forward.
Yeah.
It's like that, they have that whole energy to do these kind of things.
should one do such sense gratification or avoid?
Of course, that's good sense gratification for brahmacharis, to be austere.
You can avoid that sense gratification.
No. That's what, with no salt means it is a problem. Little salt should be there. Like sense gratification for Brahmana is simplicity. Brahmana is meant to be simple. So that's something which he should avoid. But he should not get carried away by that. That's it. Okay, please read.
In the north and south poles of his planet, there are sometimes no divisions of the day and night. Similarly, when the sunlight does not approach the different planets within the universe, there is no distinctions between day and night.
I experienced this when I went to Russia. I went to Russia and then the brahmachari, we are staying in Irkutsk temple. There's a nice brahmachari, he was put in charge of taking care of us. He came and asked us that the first day we landed. And then he asked us what time we'll have dinner. I said 7:30, bring some dinner. And then after some time he brought dinner. And then I asked him that why did you bring dinner so early? I told you to bring it at 7:30. He said, Prabhuji, it is 7:30. But I couldn't believe it was 7:30 because there was sunlight outside and the sun was shining outside. Then I asked him, then I saw the time, I saw 7:30, then I asked him, what is this? 7:30, sun is like this. He said, Prabhuji, here sunlight will be there till 2:30 in the morning. And then there will be small amount of night between 2:30 and 3 o'clock. And then 3 o'clock again sunlight.
Yeah. Summer season.
This is north of Russia, maybe.
Yeah, it's more or less like Siberia. Just half an hour of night, that's it. And that also not like complete dark night and all. It's just at 2 o'clock, it is like 5:30 in the evening here. At 2 o'clock in the morning. Like 5:30 in the evening.
Where, Prabhu?
In Russia, Irkutsk.
So it's very passionate, no?
Huh?
Is it very passionate?
People, they do everything in winter. They go and they in Russia they have this culture. They have a country house called dacha. They call dacha. So in winter, in summer, they go and they live there, and then they make some vegetables and they enjoy. They work in winter. Winter is nothing you can do because there's so much of 1-2 meters of snow. Nothing can be done. So they just go into the factories and then start working the whole day, and the entire winter is working time for them. Summer, 1 or 2 months they have holiday and they
Enjoy.
just enjoy. because there's no snow.
Winter there's no light also, no? The same.
Winter is, I don't know, I didn't go there in winter. The summer itself is like this. Summer itself, like evening time, the temperature is already like 2 degrees, 3 degrees, 4 degrees, like that.
In summer.
In summer. Morning time temperature is like 20 degrees, 18 degrees, like that. Winter time is already 2 degrees, 3 degrees. Evening time. But you don't feel because everywhere heating is there. So unless you go out and you are in the open without some cold winter clothes, you feel. Otherwise, if you are inside, it doesn't feel like it.
Because in America also till 9 o'clock we have light.
Ah.
In New York till 9 p.m. we have light in summer.
Oh,
But in winter 3 o'clock it's pitch dark.
okay. Europe also, no? Longer days are there, but not so bad, I think so. Summer is longer in Europe also, right?
Sometimes the sun is just going at 10 p.m.
Mm.
But in the morning it rises around 7:30.
7:30, yeah. Now, when we went to Europe in summer, there also we experienced same thing.
Oh, 4 o'clock. US it's 4 o'clock morning sunrise.
Mm.
Oh wow.
India is good. You have nice summer, you have nice winter.
The sleeping time is less much, 1 or 2 hours.
They are always sleeping.
India good. Malaysia better. Malaysia no season.
Only one season, only tropical season, that's it.
No, we have to close the curtains and
Yeah, I understand.
I sleep with the curtains open.
Hmm?
I sleep with the curtains open.
Anyway. Okay, let's read some purport, some translations. Let's get into Vaikuntha. Enough of this material world.
In the Vaikuntha planets is it one time to read?
Yes.
Yeah, please read.
In the Vaikuntha planets is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the original person and who can be understood in the Vedic literature. He is full of the uncontaminated mode of goodness, with no place for passion or ignorance. He contributes religious progress for the devotees.
Okay.
In those Vaikuntha planets, there are many forests which are auspicious. In those forests, the trees are desire trees, and in all seasons they are filled with the flower and the fruit. Because everything in Vaikuntha planet is a spiritual and personal.
Okay.
In the Vaikuntha planets, the inhabitants fly in the airplanes, accompanied by the wives and consorts, and eternally sing of the character and activities of the Lord, which are always devoid of all inauspicious qualities. While singing the glories of the Lord, they desire even the
They
presence.
deride.
They derive even the presence of the blooming Madhavi flowers. Madhavi flowers.
Blossom.
Blossoming Madhavi flowers, which are fragrant and laden with honey.
Madhavi is red. Madhavi flower is red.
White.
Madhavi, they said.
No, here Brahma is describing who Vaikuntha, the
Original Vaikuntha.
So he went to sound king. Oh, meditating.
He knows.
When the king of beings hums in a high pitch, singing the glories of the Lord, there is a temporary lull in the noise of the pigeon, the cuckoo, the crane, the chakravaka, the swan, the parrot, the partridge, and the peacock. Such transcendental birds stop their own singing simply to hear the glories of the Lord.
Yeah, because the bee is coming from very close to the Lord. So the bee knows he is seeing the Lord very in close quarters, because either the bee is circling the garland of the Lord or he is circling the lotus feet of the Lord. So he knows the personal qualities of the Lord very much. So therefore when the bee sings, then everybody becomes very attentive. They want to hear.
On the flowering plants like the Mandara, Kunda, Pura, Baka, Utpala, Champaka, Arna, Punnaga,
Punnaga.
Punnaga, Nagakeshara, Vakula, Lili, and Parijata are full of transcendental fragrance. They are still conscious of the austerities performed by Tulsi. For Tulsi is given special preference by the Lord, who garlands himself with Tulsi leaves.
Some of these trees are there in Prabhupada Samadhi also. No?
The inhabitants of Vaikuntha travel in their airplanes made of lapis lazuli, emerald and gold. Although crowded by their consorts, who have large hips and beautiful smiling faces, they cannot be stimulated to passion by their mirth and beautiful charms.
So there are concerts, but there is no sex life.
The ladies in the Vaikuntha planets are as beautiful as the goddess of fortune herself. Such transcendently beautiful ladies, their hands playing with lotuses and their legs bangles tinkling, are sometimes seen sweeping the marble walls, which are bedecked at intervals with golden borders, in order to receive the grace of the Supreme Personality Godhead.
So even though it is clean, but still they clean. Because they just want to do some service.
Well, Vaikuntha, so some jivas go to Vaikuntha as consorts of Lakshmi Devi also.
Yeah.
So then there is that part of Swakya Rasa also. Why it is said only Dasya and half Sakya only goes.
And even Lakshmi Devi is predominantly in Dasya Rasa.
Okay.
She is known for Pada Sevanam. She is predominantly in Dasya Rasa.
No Sakya.
There's not like so much of. And those who go as assistants of Lakshmi Devi, they go in pure Dasya Rasa. They just go to serve. They don't. They are also not taking the part of the wives of the Lord. They're going only as servants.
We know that Vishnu he has Nila, Devi.
Yes. Yeah.
And in Vaikuntha world they are not there.
They are all there.
So he has different consorts as well. or?
Yeah. Okay.
The goddesses of fortune worship the Lord in their own gardens by offering tulsi leaves on the coral-paved banks of transcendental reservoirs of water. While offering worship to the Lord, they can see on the water the reflection of their beautiful faces with raised noses, and it appears that they have become more beautiful because of the Lord's kissing their faces.
Okay.
It is very much regrettable that unfortunate people do not discuss the descriptions of the Vaikuntha planet but engage in the topic which are unworthy to hear and which will wants intelligence. Those who give up the topic of Vaikuntha and take to talk of the material world are thrown into the dark regions of ignorance.
Mhm. Okay, so we'll stop here. So we'll continue tomorrow to hear glories of Vaikuntha more and more. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.